Do your feet ever feel like pins and needles, that nagging tingle, a burning sensation, or maybe just a dull, persistent numbness that makes walking feel like a challenge? It's a frustrating, even alarming feeling, isn't it? You might dismiss it as just part of getting older, a little quirk of aging. But what if I told you that some of the very foods you consider healthy, some of your favorite fruits, could actually be making that numbness worse? It sounds surprising, even unbelievable. But there's a hidden connection between what you put on your plate and the comfort in your feet. Many of us overlook how our diet plays a crucial role in nerve health and circulation, especially as we age. And certain seemingly innocent foods can quietly undermine your efforts to stay comfortable and active. In this video, we're going to uncover the truth about 6 common fruits that, when consumed in certain ways or quantities, can contribute to or worsen that uncomfortable foot numbness. We'll explore why they might be problematic and, more importantly, what simple swaps you can make to find relief and put a spring back in your step. Stick with me until the very end, because I'm going to share a simple truth that will absolutely surprise you and could change the way you think about fruit forever. Let's start with the first surprising culprit that might be silently making your foot numbness worse: dried fruits. Now, you might be thinking, but dried fruit is healthy. It's just fruit, right? And yes, they do start out as whole fruit, but the process of drying them removes all the water, leaving behind a highly concentrated version of the fruit's natural sugars. Imagine holding a bunch of fresh grapes, plump and juicy. Now imagine those same grapes shriveled down into tiny raisins. All the water is gone. But every bit of sugar that was in that big bunch of grapes is now packed into those small, dense raisins. This means that a small handful of dried fruit, like raisins, dates, or dried apricots, can contain as much, if not more, sugar than a whole bowl of its fresh counterpart. And because they're so easy to pop into your mouth one after another, it's incredibly simple to overdo it without even realizing how much sugar you're actually consuming. Why is this a problem for your feet and that nagging numbness? Well, persistent high blood sugar levels, whether from added sugars or too much concentrated natural sugar, are a significant factor in damaging nerves and impairing circulation, especially in your extremities, like your feet. This damage is often referred to as neuropathy, and it's a common cause of numbness, tingling, or even pain. When you eat a large amount of dried fruit, your body experiences a rapid surge in blood sugar. It's like sending a constant sugar shock through your system, which, over time, can make those delicate nerve endings in your feet more vulnerable and contribute to that pins and needles feeling. Your body struggles to process this sudden rush of sugar, leading to inflammation and stress on your tiny blood vessels, which are crucial for nourishing your nerves. So, what's the actionable step here? It doesn't mean you have to ban dried fruit entirely if you truly love it, but it does mean being much more mindful about portion control and how often you consume it, instead of reaching for that big bag of trail mix loaded with dried fruit. As an everyday snack, try treating dried fruit more like a candy or a dessert, something to be enjoyed sparingly, in very small portions. Perhaps just a couple of dates or a small sprinkle of raisins on your oatmeal. A great strategy is to always pair dried fruit with something that slows down sugar absorption, like a handful of unsalted nuts, a spoonful of nut butter, or some plain yogurt. This combination of healthy fats and protein helping to bao mi core of fundi bo oviro oni di bao adi kodish amonji no kogu or the chianks. Immediate impact, giving your body a more gradual rise in blood sugar rather than a sharp spike. Or, even better, swap out dried fruits for their fresh counterparts whenever possible. A small bowl of fresh berries or a crisp apple will provide more fiber, more water, and a more stable release of natural sugars, which is much kinder to your nerves and circulation. It's about making choices that support your body's balance, not constantly challenging it with sugar overload. Now, speaking of sweet treats that can sometimes be a little too much of a good thing, let's talk about another common fruit that might surprise you: the luscious mango. While mangoes are undeniably delicious and packed with vitamins like A and C, they are also incredibly rich in natural sugars, especially those wonderfully ripe, juicy ones that taste like pure sunshine, A single medium-sized mango can contain upwards of 45 grams of sugar, which is significantly more than many other fruits and can quickly add up if you're eating a large portion or multiple servings. For someone already struggling with issues like poor circulation or pre-diabetes, or even full-blown diabetes, that big, sweet mango can send your blood sugar soaring. And those repeated spikes aren't just a concern for managing diabetes. They create an environment in your body that can damage those tiny blood vessels and nerves, particularly in your extremities, leading to or worsening that foot numbness. Think of it this way: your body is trying to keep everything in balance, but a huge influx of sugar from a large mango can throw that balance off, making it harder for your nerves to function properly and communicate effectively with your brain. This can contribute to the sensations of tingling, burning, or outright numbness you might be experiencing in your feet. The rapid rush of sugar can also trigger inflammatory responses in the body, and chronic inflammation is another factor that can contribute to nerve damage over time. So, how can you enjoy this tropical delight without risking your foot comfort? The key here, much like with dried fruits, is moderation and mindful consumption. Instead of eating a whole large mango in one sitting, try enjoying just half of a smaller one. Or, better yet, combine it with a source of protein or healthy fat, like a small dollop of plain Greek yogurt, a handful of unsalted almonds, or even some cottage cheese. This helps slow down the absorption of sugar, giving your body a gentler rise rather than a sharp spike, and helping to keep your blood sugar levels more stable throughout the day. You can also opt for mangoes that are slightly less ripe, as their sugar content tends to be lower. It's about savoring the flavor and nutrients of the fruit without overwhelming your system with too much sugar at once. Remember, it's not about cutting out these wonderful fruits entirely, but understanding how they impact your body, especially if you're experiencing symptoms like foot numbness. Making these small, informed adjustments can make a significant difference in your overall comfort and nerve health. Now, let's move on to another fruit that often finds its way into our breakfast bowls and snack rotations. A humble fruit that can be a friend or foe depending on its ripeness. So, let's talk about another fruit that often finds its way into our breakfast bowls and snack rotations: the humble banana. Now, don't get me wrong, bananas are generally a good source of potassium, vitamin B6, and other nutrients, and they can be a great energy booster. But here's the kicker: it's all about how ripe they are. As a banana ripens, its complex starches convert into simple sugars. So, that perfectly spotted, brown speckled banana, while incredibly sweet and delicious, is essentially a concentrated sugar bomb compared to its greener counterpart. Eating a very ripe banana, especially on its own, can lead to a quicker and higher spike in your blood sugar than a slightly greener, firmer one. And we've talked about what sugar spikes can do to your delicate nerve endings in your feet. They're not friendly. Over time, these repeated surges can contribute to inflammation and damage to those tiny vessels that supply nutrients to your nerves, leading to that uncomfortable numbness. It's like a roller coaster for your blood sugar, and your nervous system prefers a smooth, steady ride. When blood sugar levels fluctuate wildly, it creates an environment that can be toxic to nerve cells, making them less efficient at transmitting signals and more prone to damage. This can manifest as tingling, burning, or that persistent dull numbness in your feet. The good news: you don't have to give up bananas entirely. The trick is to choose bananas that are still a bit firm, maybe with just a hint of green at the ends. They have a lower glycemic index, meaning they release their sugars more slowly into your bloodstream, if you prefer the sweeter, riper ones, which many of us do for baking or smoothies. Then portion control becomes even more critical. Instead of eating a whole very ripe banana, perhaps use just half in your smoothie or with your oatmeal. Or, even better, try pairing half a ripe banana with some protein like a spoonful of nut butter, a handful of almonds, or adding it to a smoothie with some Greek yogurt. This combination of fat and protein helps to buffer the sugar impact and gives your body a more stable energy release, preventing those sharp blood sugar spikes that are so detrimental to nerve health. It's about making smarter choices, not cutting out entirely. A slightly underripe banana can still provide all the benefits without the significant sugar load, making it a much friendlier choice for your feet. Remember, The goal is to keep your blood sugar as stable as possible throughout the day to protect those precious nerve endings. Now, let's move on to another incredibly popular fruit that many of us snack on by the handful, sometimes without even thinking about how much we're actually consuming grapes. I'm talking about those sweet, juicy little bursts of flavor that are so easy to pop into your mouth one after another. Aren't they? A small handful quickly turns into a whole bunch, and before you know it, you've consumed a significant amount of natural sugars without feeling particularly full because they're so easy to eat. Grapes, particularly the seedless varieties we often buy, are quite high in natural sugars, especially fructose. While fruit sugar is natural, consuming large quantities of it, particularly without the substantial fiber from other foods, can still contribute to elevated blood sugar levels. And remember, persistent high blood sugar is a leading culprit in nerve damage and poor circulation that contributes to foot numbness. Unlike a larger, more fibrous piece of fruit like an apple, where one serving feels satisfying, it's very easy to consume multiple servings of grapes without realizing it, turning a seemingly innocent snack into a sugary indulgence. The issue with grapes isn't just their sugar content, it's also their glycemic index, which can be relatively high, meaning they can cause a quicker rise in blood sugar compared to lower sugar fruits. When your blood sugar levels are constantly spiking and dropping, it puts stress on your vascular system and your nerve cells, making them more vulnerable to damage over time. This can exacerbate existing numbness or contribute to new sensations of tingling and discomfort in your feet. Think of your body as a finely tuned instrument. Constant large fluctuations in blood sugar are like hitting discordant notes. They disrupt the harmony and can cause wear and tear. So, what's the solution? Enjoy your grapes, but be mindful of your portion size. Instead of eating them straight from the bag, try putting a small handful, say around 15-20 grapes, into a bowl and combine them with something that offers protein or healthy fats, like a small piece of cheese or a few almonds. This slows down sugar absorption and helps you feel fuller, preventing you from overeating. You might also consider opting for smaller, tartar grape varieties, which tend to have slightly less sugar than the very large, sweet ones. Think of grapes as a treat, to be savored in moderation, rather than a free-for-all snack. It's about being aware of how much you're actually consuming and how that impacts your body, especially if you're seeking relief from foot numbness. By being more intentional with your grape consumption, you're making a positive step towards supporting your nerve health and overall well-being. Next up, we're going to tackle a category of fruits that might seem incredibly convenient, but are often hiding a secret sugar load that could be silently worsening your foot discomfort. When we're looking for quick and easy ways to get our fruit fix, canned fruits can seem like an incredibly convenient option. They're shelf-stable, always available, and certainly easy to prepare. You might grab a can of peaches or mixed fruit thinking you're making a healthy choice. However, many canned fruits, especially those labeled in heavy syrup or light syrup, are swimming in added sugars. These syrups are essentially just sugar water. And while the fruit itself contains natural sugars, adding more just compounds the problem, turning a potentially healthy snack into a sugar bomb. When you consume these sugary syrups along with the fruit, you're getting a double dose of sugar that can lead to rapid blood sugar spikes. As we've discussed, these spikes are not conducive to healthy nerve function or good circulation in your feet, potentially aggravating existing numbness or contributing to new discomfort. Each time your blood sugar surges, it places stress on your delicate nerve endings and the tiny blood vessels that supply them with oxygen and nutrients. Over time, this chronic stress can lead to damage, manifesting as that familiar tingling, burning, or numb sensation in your feet, beyond the added sugar. The canning process itself can sometimes diminish the nutritional value and fiber content of the fruit, making it less beneficial than its fresh or frozen counterparts. The fiber in whole fruit is crucial because it helps slow down sugar absorption, giving your body a gentler and more sustained energy release. Without this fiber, the fruit's natural sugars, combined with the added syrups, hit your bloodstream quickly, causing a more dramatic spike. It's a classic example of how a seemingly healthy food can be transformed into something less beneficial by processing and preparation methods. You think you're getting all the goodness of fruit, But you're also unknowingly consuming a significant amount of added sugar that can work against your efforts to alleviate foot numbness. So, what's the better choice? Always prioritize fresh fruit when you can. Fresh fruits offer the full spectrum of vitamins, minerals, and that essential fiber in their most natural state, which is optimal for blood sugar management and nerve health. If fresh isn't an option, or you genuinely enjoy the convenience of canned goods, look for canned fruits that are packed in water or in their own juice with no sugar added. Even then, it's a good idea to drain and rinse the fruit before eating it to wash away any residual sugars. And remember to check the ingredients list carefully. Added sugars can hide under many different names like corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, or maltose. It's about reading labels and making informed decisions that truly support your health, rather than inadvertently working against it. Small adjustments in your grocery habits can lead to big improvements in your overall well-being and the comfort of your feet. Now, for our final category, which might be the most deceptive of all, because it's often marketed as incredibly healthy and pure fruit juices. Even those labeled 100% pure fruit juice, with no added sugar. You might think, it's fruit, so it must be good for me. And while it comes from fruit, the crucial difference lies in the absence of fiber. When you juice a fruit, whether it's an orange, an apple, or a blend of berries, you remove most of its beneficial fiber. What you're left with is concentrated fruit sugar water. Think about eating an orange. It takes time to peel it, chew it, and the fiber helps fill you up and slows down the absorption of its natural sugars. Now, imagine drinking a glass of orange juice. It's gone in seconds, and all that sugar hits your bloodstream almost instantaneously. This rapid influx of sugar, without the buffering effect of fiber, can cause a significant and quick spike in your blood sugar levels for someone trying to manage foot numbness, which is often linked to nerve damage from fluctuating blood sugar. These constant spikes can be incredibly detrimental. It's like sending your system on a roller coaster ride of highs and lows that can stress your nerves and circulatory system over time, making them more vulnerable to damage and increasing the severity of your numbness. Many people consume fruit juice thinking they're getting a healthy dose of vitamins, but the high sugar content often outweighs the benefits, especially when it comes to managing nerve health and preventing numbness. It's a quick shot of sugar without the nutritional balance of whole fruit, which is what your body truly needs for sustained energy and stable blood sugar. So, what's the best approach instead of drinking your fruit? Eat it. Opt for a whole orange instead of orange juice, a handful of berries instead of berry juice, or an apple instead of apple juice. You'll get all the vitamins, plus that essential fiber that helps stabilize your blood sugar and keeps your nerves happier. That fiber acts like a natural brake, slowing down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream and preventing those damaging spikes. If you absolutely crave a drink with fruit flavor, try infusing water with slices of fresh fruit like lemon, cucumber, or a few berries, or opt for unsweetened herbal teas. It's a simple switch that can make a profound difference in how your body processes sugar and, in turn, how comfortable your feet feel day to day. Remember, your body thrives on balance, and when it comes to sugar, slower and steadier wins the race for nerve health. So, we've explored 6 common fruit pitfalls that could be worsening that uncomfortable numbness in your feet. We talked about how highly concentrated dried fruits, the rich sweetness of mangoes, overly ripe bananas, and the easy-to-overeat nature of grapes can send your blood sugar soaring. And we uncovered the hidden sugars in canned fruits and the rapid sugar delivery of even 100% fruit juices, all of which can silently contribute to nerve irritation and poor circulation in your lower extremities. Now, I know this might feel like a lot to take in, and perhaps some of your favorite treats are on this list. But please, don't feel discouraged. The powerful message here isn't about giving up fruit entirely or feeling deprived. It's about being aware, making informed choices, and understanding how different forms and quantities of fruit impact your unique body, especially as we get older and our bodies become more sensitive to blood sugar fluctuations. Every small, mindful change you make, like choosing fresh fruit over juice, or portioning out those sweet grapes, is a step towards better nerve health. improved circulation, and ultimately, more comfortable feet. Remember, your body is an amazing machine. And with a little care and attention to what you fuel it with, you can truly make a big difference in how you feel every single day. You have the power to influence your own comfort and well-being. Start with one simple swap, one small adjustment, and build from there. You might be surprised at how quickly your feet respond and how much more comfortable you feel during your daily activities. It's not about perfection, but about progress. And every step counts on your journey to better health. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Have you noticed any connection between what you eat and your foot comfort? Perhaps you've already made some changes that have helped. Share your stories or tips in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else in our wonderful community who might be struggling with similar issues. If you found this video helpful and want to discover more ways to live your healthiest, most vibrant life, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We're here to empower you with practical, easy-to-understand advice that truly makes a difference in your daily comfort and overall well-being. Thank you for joining me today. Keep nurturing your incredible body. Stay curious about your health. And remember, you truly can live your best life at every age.